Hello, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design. And today we are live inside of our training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this week we're working on a series of how to design a website. So we've talked all about how to plan a website, and then we actually started building. We used headers and footers. We actually created the bulk of our landing page, but today we're going to talk about how to design a checkout page. Okay. So this is actually the website. This is our membership website currently, but I am rebuilding it. It is on WordPress. I'm rebuilding it on HighLevel. If you're not a member of HighLevel, you can actually go to myvisionagency.com, go to all plans. You can either join HighLevel that way, or you can become a member and then use all the HighLevel tools at a much deeper discounted price. Okay. So, the website that we have been working on is this one here. This is how we've recreated it. So you can see it's pretty similar. We did switch up the design a little bit. We have this area here, and we have some sections here to highlight our solutions. But you see here, we need to put our like a panel for our checkout page. Okay. Because what we want to redesign is this area here. Okay, now this is actually a review widget that we have inside of HighLevel or Vision, however you decide to join, that we can bring in. All you have to do is just log into Google, and then you have access to this. I'll show you how to do that. And then what we're going to recreate is this area here. Okay, this is challenging for some people, and there really aren't great templates, but of course, I'm going to give you guys the template to this so that you can use all of these resources. You can duplicate, you can use it however you want to. Okay. So let's actually dive into the website. So inside of your Vision or HighLevel dashboard, you want to go to Sites and you want to go to Websites. And I've just called this website template. Okay. So we only have one page here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit and then click Edit in a new tab. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and what we need to do is add a section. Okay, so you can add a section many ways. You can click here at the green dot, or you can go up here to add a section. So let's just go ahead and we're going to add a full width section here. And now we want to add rows like always. And if you have 3 plans, add 3 columns. If you have 4 plans, add the 4 columns. Okay, 5, 6, and so on. All right, so we have 3 plans, so we're going to add 3 columns. Now, the first thing I like to do, like always, is I want to design the first one. Okay, the first one is the hardest one, just like designing a website. You have to plan it out, and then the first page, what I like to do, I'm sure many people have different strategies of how to do it, but I like to, once I create my strategy, I like to work on the landing page first. Okay, because this is basically what houses and sets the tone and style for your whole website. So what I'm going to do is click here to add an element. And of course I need to add, and let's actually just go off of our template here. So we have some text here, okay, so we can add that anytime. But what we need is some text here for beginner, and then we have some subtext, and then we have like the price here. Okay, so let's actually just go back to our template, and let's go ahead and add some sub headline rather. We're going to add some paragraph text, and then let's go back. See, okay, so now we need a price, so that's going to be larger. So let's go ahead and say headline. And then we have some smaller text at the bottom because that says monthly. And then we have these bullet points here. Okay. So that's pretty much how I like to start. All right, so here I'm going to give my plan a title, and it's going to be beginner. Okay, so I want to make this bold. I'm going to highlight that, and then I'm going to click here for beginner. And before I get too deep, I almost forgot to say hello to everyone. So hello, Ray and Linwood and Picardo and Floyd and Maria. Thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. Okay, so we have the beginner plan here. Now, if we look at our template, and always, 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 I never really like to build out of my brain. I always like to have something to guide me with. And this is actually, I did not design this, even though I did create this website on WordPress. This is actually just a Elementor element that you can pull in, and it's already done for you. So what we want to do is just simply recreate it. Okay, so I didn't create this originally, and it really doesn't matter where you get your idea from, because you're always going to change it up a little bit and make it your own. Okay. So I'm going to go back here now. We have beginner plan. And then we have, let's see where it says all content, training, and GHL tools. So let's go ahead and type that in here. All content, training, and GHL tools. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Way too many O's in there. All right. So, of course, you guys know I'm not a great speller. Let me go ahead and save this. Okay. Save it again. Okay, now we have our price. Let's see, $67 monthly. So let's go ahead and put a dollar sign, $67. And then this is just going to be monthly. Okay. Monthly. All right. So now we've got a pretty good start. All right. So now, again, there are so many ways that you can do this. And I honestly am not the best designer. I've been using the HighLevel builder for less than a year. So I'm definitely not an expert at it. But what I love about this is it's so simple, and they have made it so simple that, local business owners or people who are not professional web designers can still build a website without having to spend thousands of dollars. Okay, so that's what's really cool about it. So I'm going to actually make this text larger because I want to get a good idea of what it looks like. Okay. And so now what I need to do is start adding some bullet points. Okay, so I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go ahead and just grab this bullet point. All right. So if you look at our original here, the background here is purple. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Well, first of all, what I'm going to do is add a border. Okay. So I'm going to go to advanced, and then I'm going to go to full border, and then I'm actually, let's go ahead and let's add this border around here, which I absolutely love, but I do want to add some shadow here. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to add a shadow to the box. Okay. And I like about 20% shadow. And when you do that, you'll see that if I click outside of this box, you'll see better. That it automatically just creates this really nice defined box that is kind of like this, right? Where it kind of glows, or it kind of looks a little three-dimensional. But of course, you can play with it. You can make it look however you want to. Okay. Um, so what I need to do now is I need to put color in the background. So let's go ahead and click here, and then let's choose a color. So maybe I want purple here. We'll make purple here. And then I'm going to change this text to white. So the text is bold. So remember from yesterday, if it's a bold text, we need to change the text that says bold color. So we're going to make that white. Let's go ahead and make this white as well. And it's not bold. So we're going to go click here and make this one white. Okay. Now we definitely need some space in between here. Okay. So we definitely want space above and below here. So let's go to, we can either use padding, and if you put padding at the top, remember add space inside the element. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll add just maybe 10, and maybe we want 10 at the bottom here. So let's go ahead and add padding here. And if we remember from yesterday, if we added margin, it would put space here at the top. Okay. Or here at the bottom, whichever margin we chose. Okay. So now already it's looking very familiar. Okay. So we definitely want to add some space here as well above the 67 to remain congruent here. So that's where we're going to use the margin. Make sure you click on the correct element here and scroll down. And then now we're going to add some space here at the top. So let's say we want to add like maybe 20, or let's see, 20. Okay. So moving on, now we have website funnel builder. So we're already starting with our bullet points. So I'm just going to type this in here. Now we do want this smaller. Okay. Actually, X out of this. Oops. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry, guys. I like to sing when I don't know what's going on. Let's go ahead. Let's delete this because I'm not quite sure. I don't know why it's doing that. We're going to delete this and start over again. Okay, bullet points. And I am going to show you some tips on this because using these bullet points can be kind of a little bit tricky. Okay, let me copy this again and go back here. Well, I'm glad you guys are watching this because it's definitely, if you can see here why I'm saying this, that it's definitely tricky. Let me just type this out, okay? White label. Oh, I'm sorry. Website and funnel builder. And then we'll put unlimited domains. Okay, let's capitalize this. And let's get rid of this. Yeah, it's very strange when you try to use the bullet points and then you copy and paste in here. And this is one of the reasons that I really wanted to do this training and show you guys, because I know that I definitely have learned some tips on how to use this to the best of its ability. And so that's what I wanted to show you today. Okay, so I'm actually going to make this smaller now, because if you notice on here, this is actually pretty small. Okay, so we're going to have a long list of benefits here. So we definitely want to make the text small. Okay. Now, what you could do, you could hit enter and then you could start entering in your other benefits. Okay. And that would be definitely the easy way to do it. However, if you look here, there's actually this gray line underneath. So the way that you want to get that gray line, and the way that I did it, is I just used one item on the bullet point here. Okay, so I'm actually going to just duplicate this whole thing. But what I want to do to put that gray line there are actually two options. I could go to elements, and then I could go to where it says divider, and I could add a divider here. And then of course I could make it gray, and then I could reduce the size. So maybe I want the width to be 50%, or maybe I want it to be 75%, and then we can make it gray. And then of course we could adjust the padding and all of that, and then, reduce the padding here, and then reduce the padding here, and then we could get that same look, okay? But it's actually easier if you just use this element here, and then you go to advanced, and then you can add a border, but only add it to the bottom, okay? So when you add the bottom border, I'm gonna go ahead and use this gray line again. Then now you see this nice gray line here, okay? So of course, like I was saying, you could reduce the padding at the bottom, get that gray line up there even closer to the text. Okay, so definitely play around with that. You could add some padding here if you want to shrink that in a little bit. So whatever you do here, just remember, since we're duplicating this element, that it's going to be the same on all of them. Okay, so rather than waste all of your time going through this whole thing, what I'm going to do is just duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are just going to literally do the same thing, and then you are going to copy and paste all of your benefits here. Okay, so literally like I just did, except you're going to be adding new ones. All right, so now right now we have that generic check mark, but maybe, if we wanted to get this circle here with the check mark there, what we could do is click in the element again, and then we could go to where it says icon, and let's go ahead and do like check. And then here we have that same circle, okay? Now, if we just hit enter, okay, then it would put that same circle there. But since we actually duplicated this and now it is a separate element for each line, we would need to go through here and then make sure to change each one. Okay. And of course, if you wanted to change the color of that, you could just do that here with the icon color. Like maybe we want to make it orange. You could do that. Okay. So that's how you can do that and pretty much get that same look. Okay. But now we have a button down here. So let's go ahead and let's say these are all the benefits that we want to add. And then let's go ahead and add a button. So we'll go up here to button. And you can see that it's a nice ugly green color. You guys know that I hate green. And let's just go ahead and type in subscribe instead of what it said before. Let's add some space to the top. And we can add some space to the bottom. And let's change the color because it's ugly. And let's maybe make it orange. And we could go over here to advanced and we could make we could make the text a little bit different. We could make them all upper or lowercase. We could make this fluid or full width of this whole button if we did this here. So maybe we do want that. You can add different button effects here and shadows and things like that. And I went through much more detail in this type of thing yesterday. So definitely go back and check that out if you need help. We could also add a border here. So let's go ahead and just make it a little, stand out a little bit more. Maybe we want this black. We could round the edges. Maybe we want to put it like 5 or something like that. And we could also choose if you want all edges or top only or bottom only. Okay. So once we get this button how we want to, then this is super, super easy. Okay. Because all we need to do is duplicate this whole section. Okay. So I'm duplicating. Let me delete this extra. And then I'm going to duplicate again. Okay. So here we go. And I'm going to delete that purple. So now we have our 3 plans. Okay. Now, it does get tricky when you start adding, like if there's a different amount of features in this plan as this plan here. Okay. So if you duplicate, you'll see that it actually changes the height of these. Okay, so this definitely confused me when I started using this builder. I was so confused. But what you can do is just remember that anything that you do in these columns like this, it needs to be the same as the other column. Okay, so if I need this, if I have all of these extra items here in this plan and I need this to be at the top, what I have to do is I have to click here to duplicate. And then what you want to do is just remove the content from this. Okay. So if you add 2 more bullet points here, you need to make sure to add 2 more blank bullet points there. And of course, we'll go to advanced and we'll get rid of that border because we don't want to have that there. So if I click out of this, you can see that we're already, let's duplicate again, we're already getting closer. Okay. So it looks a lot better. Now, if you do have to adjust the top up here, you can always, like, let's say maybe it's just not lining up. We're just really confused. We don't understand why. You may have like an extra space here or something in a box. Like maybe you have 2 lines of text here. So all you need to do is just go over here and just make sure to hit enter, and then it lines up. Okay. So that is definitely something that's a little bit tricky. But I want to go ahead and delete these things for you though, so that you can actually use this and it's lined up correctly. Okay, so we'll just delete this. Okay. Now, how do you get the little credit card thing at the bottom? Okay, so here's what I do. Okay, I literally search credit cards, images, and you can look through here if you want to. You can also go to, or let's type in accept credit cards. So basically, I'm just looking for one of these that I want to use on my website. If you don't find one, you can always go to Canva and create a design. Let's say we want it to be 100 by 50 because we don't want it to be very tall at all. And then let's type in elements and let's do accept credit cards. Oops. Accept credit cards. I could choose if they had options here. I think I do have an option already, but let's just say I wanted to use this one. Now, most of these, for example, just to make sure it's not copywritten, which most of them are not, you can go here to the tools and go to usage rights, and you can choose commercial and other license or Creative Commons license to determine, what you can use. Okay. So let me actually find, I think I have here in my uploads, I have an image already that I use a lot. So let's see if I actually have it in here. Maybe not. I might have it in another account, but let's actually look. So I'm going to click here, add an image, and let's go to change our image. Let me see if I have it in here. Tier 5 images. Okay, so I don't think that I do. Okay, so it will take some time for you to dig around and find the one that you want. I could dive into another account, but since I'm live, I don't want to waste your time and um, I don't want to expose any personal information from anyone. But let's say that we like this image. Okay, so let's just go ahead and download, or we can copy rather, and then go back to Canva. And if you want to copy and paste in Canva, click Control V to paste. Actually, once you click in it, click Control V to paste. And I'm going to just stretch this image out here. And it's actually, you can see it's 100 by 27. So let's go up here and click Resize. And then let's do 27. Okay, so it says it must be a minimum of 40. So we're going to do resize. And then we'll stretch this out. And we'll just put this in the middle here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and download. And of course, we're going to do PNG because we want this to be transparent around there. So I'm going to do transparent and compress so that I can reduce the load speed of my website. I'm going to go back here. And of course, we're going to upload. So I'm going to just drag that in here. And let's go ahead and click there. So now you see you have your image, but it's actually kind of small. So let's go ahead and let's make it a little bit bigger. So we can do that here in the height. And we could also do this in the width. So we can just manually adjust it until it gets how we want. So let's actually say 100 by maybe 27. Okay, so it definitely needs to be bigger than that. All right, so it's looking pretty good. I actually don't really like this image, but you get the point, right? So once you get that how you want it, you're just going to duplicate, and then you are going to duplicate again. Okay. So here is basically how easy it is to create a checkout plan. Okay, now of course, you guys are going to have many, many styles, but the beautiful part is once you create this, okay, you could put this in your footer. You could put this on every single page. You could make this a global element so that all you need to do is update this one time. For example, next month, we're adding a brand new tool that I'm super excited to introduce you guys to. So when I go to update that, if I'm using a global panel here, then I just need to add it to one. And then if I have this on, 30 other pages within my website, I don't need to go back and update each individual one. Okay, so again, just to show you, to save this panel, all you need to do, and especially if you want to save it so that you can reuse it with many different tools. For example, I have like 40 plus tools, right? And I promote them all separately and together. So if I want to use this same checkout and I don't want to have to create this every single time, then I can just create a template of checkout. and save. And now I have this, I can bring it in on any page and any website in my account that I want to use. Okay. Now, if I wanted to save it as global so that anywhere that I put it within my website that it would update, then I could just save that here. And then to retrieve those, I just go to add a section, and then I can choose the templates. Like I just created that one template here, or I could go to global sections and then choose from my global sections that I have here on the website. Okay. So that is really how easy it is to create a checkout page. You definitely want to play with it. You want to get the look and feel that you like, because the beautiful part is, like I said, you only have to create it one time and then you can just duplicate every other time. Okay. So that's really all that I had for you guys today. Again, you're going to get this template as soon as we're done with this training series. You'll actually get this whole thing, so that all the things that I've taught you to use, you can just use these as your own elements and then change the colors and do whatever you want to with them. Okay. So again, thank you so much for joining me. If you're not a member yet, you can go to myvisionagency.com and choose the plan that works for you. And I will see you all tomorrow for our Friday Q&A at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.